just so you guys know, Pearl's talking about moving back to the U.S. We're all like, move to Vegas, move to Vegas. Now, she's right. When you look at Las Vegas from the outside in, it's like the bottom of hell where Lucifer lives, right?
Okay.
It's not, but it does look like that. But if you move to Miami, that's expensive.
Okay.
It's expensive on the Strip. But outside the Strip, it's very affordable. Now, Florida is a good option, but I think Vegas is better for you. More people come in. I'm going to shoot for you. We need you on our side of the West Coast. Represent. West side, right? But here, 100K, you're doing really well in Vegas.
Okay.
Really well. But the average income for a man in America is $51,000, right? A black man's $41,000, right?
Okay.
So you say 40, 50, you got to stop the cap because it's not going to work. I'm not saying you're lying, but you're just guessing because you don't know. But imagine going to Miami and London. London's expensive.
Okay.
New York, London.
Okay.
Miami, a little bit less than London, but it's expensive.
Okay.
So now you're in the top 1%, and he's got to be 6 feet tall because with you got heels on. You got conservative heels on. It's 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
Now, how tall are you?
Like 6'1", 2", roughly.
And he's got to learn. He has to be able to take it to the hoop because you're gonna dunk on him, right?
I mean,
because you play basketball.
yes, I do.
So what if he can't hoop?
I mean, I don't care.
You're gonna embarrass him.
I mean, well, I've done that before. It didn't. I forgot as a girl you're supposed to like let the guy win.
Oh, how embarrassing!
I
man.
know.
Wait.
I know. I have done that where I was seeing someone and I beat them in basketball, and I would say, girls, let them win. Like you shouldn't do that.
What position did you play? Forward?
I was a center.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Could you dunk?
No, I was I could touch 9'10", which is like 2 inches from rim. That like my peak. I don't think I could jump that high now.
Do you think you could have went pro?
Yeah, I could have. I had a pro contract offered to me in the fall. If the YouTube thing didn't take off, I probably would have taken it.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's what, because I took 3 years off. I worked in sales. That's why I give the 40, 50 a year, because that's what I used to make. So I'm like, is it really, like, because I think, like, would I date someone that worked the same job I used to work? I'm like, well, it was a good job. I respect the job.
Yeah, but when was that? How many years ago?
Like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago.
But you were in Milwaukee.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's not expensive to live in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, they're losing population.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I like the city. It's too bad.
Well, I mean, that's okay. So
crime
it's
is
official.
bad.
She's moving to Las Vegas. What they? No, I'm just kidding. So no, but how are you preparing yourself? Because this gets asked by women.
Right.
You said you're single.
Yes.
Are you? And I hate this when women say this, but I'm not looking. Are you looking? Honestly, you're busy, but are you keeping an eye out?
Yeah.
Do you check DMs?
I do check DMs.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
The issue now is I want to date someone in the U.S. because I don't see myself long term in the UK.
What nationality? Black, white, or other?
Anything. It doesn't really. I've never gone for like guys that are like Asian, but mostly it's because they're like a lot shorter than me. You know, like a lot. I'm actually okay if they're a little shorter. I don't really mind.
Okay.
But yeah.
So you want a conservative guy?
Yes.
And how many kids do you want to have?
I've always said, like, ideally 4, but I'd be
4 kids.
Ideally,
okay,
but at least, but I'm okay with as long as I have 2, I'm okay.
Oh my God, 40K kind of girlfriend. You got to make $250 a year. No, that's good.
Yeah.
So you want to be married then?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
So you see the fear, shifting gears. You see the fear. We talked about this earlier. Of men in America, and the fear of us right now. And I look at it from a business perspective. If you take 100 marriages, 51% are divorced.
Correct.
And out of those 51%. 75 to 80%, the women are filing for divorce. Yes. And I always get, well, why are they filing? Why are they filing? And what's funny, they say that, but then I talk to some of the women and they're like, I just wasn't happy. There was no energy. I'm like, what?
Well, marriage in 2023 isn't marriage. It is not marriage today.
What is it?
It's something else. Like we can't call it marriage if you can. Like what is marriage? It's supposed to be for better, for worse, for richer and poor, for sickness and in health. Not until I felt like leaving. Right.
Okay.
And so it's like when you have a contract that is supposed to be for life and now anyone can leave for any reason. I just think marriage today isn't marriage. It's just at this point a long-term relationship.
Do you feel women are rewarded to get divorced?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. 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 And I especially learned this through the divorce documentary that I'm doing when I interview these men that are like getting like actually completely wrecked by these women. Oh my gosh. But
What surprised me in London was this whole with the you're doing this documentary, right?
Yeah.
And I saw it. You were on, and I won't say the podcast, but I wasn't a fan of the two knuckleheads. But you had brought up that in London, if you get divorced and you have children, all the woman has to do is go to the court and say that she was abused.
yes,
And what happens?
she gets a free lawyer. And she can kick him out. She can get him arrested by the police and kick him out of the house that he pays for.
With no evidence.
No evidence. And then get a restraining order on him, which are actually really easy to get in the U.S. from what I understand too for women. So essentially, one of the guys I talked to was like literally paying the mortgage on a house that he was kicked out of.
Oh yeah.
With the kids that he couldn't see.
And that was there here.
That was there.
Yeah.
I just interviewed someone also the other day whose ex is trying to make his kid like trans or whatever, and he can't do anything. She still has primary custody.
Well, so I'm from Washington State, Seattle.
Yeah.
They just passed a law because the difference from the States, from the UK and London, is it UK? How would you call it?
I say London.
London,
but-
okay. The United States is one of the only countries in the world where, one of two, I think, where each state operates like its own country, right? Because United States, so all you have the federal law and the state laws. You're from Chicago, right? Born and raised. So in Washington State, the governor just passed a policy that says if your child wants to do a gender reassignment surgery and you say no and they run away from home, the state can take your kids from you.
Wow.
So imagine the state coming to your house and saying, well, we're taking your kids because Bobby wants to be Becky. Isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy.
And then the father has no say, or the mom in this situation.
I think when men have children, they are not their kids. I think there is no way to really have a child and have that be your kid, because you are always at the whim of the mother if she wants to be spiteful. And you just have to hope you picked a good one and that she didn't, especially like in the UK, the way it's set up. Here it differs state to state, but like genuinely marriage, there's a lot of ways to protect yourself. But the issue too is that they keep making laws like to get around, like basically still chaining men to marriage. So it's like the guys won't get married, but then they'll say if a girl lives with you for a certain amount of time, then she has like marital rights. It's like whatever legal way, like men try to walk away, they just try to make a new law to force them to be married.
So what they're doing now in the States with prenups aren't even holding up in court, right?
Yeah.
So what I did, Nevada is a non-common law marriage state. Right. So some states, if you live together 2 years, 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, you're automatically, it's common law. So if you break up, it's treated like you were married. Right. She's entitled to some of your earnings. Nevada's not that way. That's why I tell these guys, and I'm not against marriage. Hear me out. I think the laws need to be revamped.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't you? Because women talk about equality, but they have more rights than men do.
They do.
Like if I don't want a kid and you have a kid, I got to pay for it, right? And I'm not about abortions, hear me out, but this is an example. You have more rights than I do. If you want an abortion, I don't want you to have an abortion, you're going to get an abortion. I have no say.
Yeah, and if you have unprotected sex with a girl, like I have abortion as a cop out, there's plan B as a cop out, there's adoption as a cop out. Like you don't have any say in any of that.
No, and you have 41 different contraceptives as a woman, right? It gives you the opportunity to be a 304, right?
Correct.
But I think what's happening now is men are starting to wake up, and I'm all about a marriage. I tell guys, look, do the ceremony. Move to a state that doesn't have common law marriage. Do the ceremony, get married, do the ring if you want. Don't sign the contract, right? And what the first response I get from women is, oh, well, that's not fair. Well, what do you mean it's not fair? So now what you're doing as a business person, I have $4 million as a business person. You want me to go into business with a person, I have a 51% chance that business is going to fail. And then if it fails, they're getting 70% ownership. People say, no, it's 50-50. No, it isn't, because let's talk about that. You're going to get half my net worth. I'm going to have to move out of the house. I'm going to have to pay spousal support child support. You should take care of your children regardless. And I got to pay the mortgage, and now I got to move into a shitty little apartment. You see what I mean? That's not fair. That's unequal.